little update / reflection video. To those who don't know, the Try Guys podcast is ending. It was announced today, and I have been a member / part of that podcast for 6.5 years. 337 episodes, about 14 days of television if you were to take a bunch of caffeine pills and stay up and watch it all the way through. I don't recommend that, but that is one way that you could sort of consume the backlog. And because it's ending, I kind of wanted to just do a little reflection, okay? Do a little holding up a mirror to you. How do you like it? That's how you look. Sorry. I don't know why I'm bullying you. I'm feeling emotional about the show ending, and I feel that I bullied you. This is mostly a video for people either that listen to the Try Guys podcast and are interested in hearing me reflect about it than any sort of announcement or bigger video. So if you want to hang out with me while I get a little wistful, and maybe I throw in some cinematic B-roll that I got on a stock website, sorry, just for fun, while I get wistful, imagine it cuts to a glacier melting. Sorry, that's anxiety inducing. Imagine while I get about to get wistful, if it cuts to a gazelle sort of getting wild. 8 minutes and 29 seconds of me getting wistful while there's footage of elephants getting wild. So that's what you signed up for by clicking this, and I hope that you enjoy. Yum. Here we go. When you're an adult, it's hard to have a signifier of the passage of time. I think that when you're younger, you maybe go to high school or you go to college or you watch the seasons change. And for me, the most significant indicator of time passing is episodes on the TryPod going up. From 1 to 2 to 3 to 100 to 200 to 300. The numbers have continued to go up over the last 6 years. And as that's happened, my life has completely changed. I've gotten married. I had one child, then I had a second child. I've had so many significant life events happen and occur in the background of me performing on the TryPod. I also recognize that the way and the reason that I am able to have any of this, that I'm able to have my own studio, that I'm able to talk to you guys, that I'm able to have my own podcast, is because of the work and friendships that existed on the TryPod. And I will never be able to repay Zach and Keith and Eugene for giving me a platform and for allowing me to talk and be a part of this, and for seeing that it was silly and fun and wanted to participate, and for teeing me up to be silly and fun and participate. As Michael Scott once said, you don't know that you're in the good old days until they're finally over. And I think that's really kind of how I feel. Because of the skills that I learned there, I was able to start my own dumb bullshit, right? I became a podcaster. I wasn't just a guy who worked at a company who didn't know very much and was eating too many of the snacks. I became a guy who knew how to edit a podcast and who had to edit audio and how to work cameras and all that kind of stuff. And all of a sudden now, it's I did it. Dads, I did it. It's a complicated feeling to have the thing that was the first thing that you did that allowed you to have the career that you wanted. Some people might have the first TV show that they were a part of. And obviously, the TryPod's not a TV show, but it is in some ways, it's my Friends. If Ross was sort of ousted from the Friends for illicit behavior, and Joey actually did start ending up getting roles in movies and TV, and then it's just sort of Phoebe and Monica and Rachel and Chandler hanging out at the end of it. It's emotional to move on from something that's been such a consistent part of my life. I have done the TryPod every single week for 6.5 years, and I edited most of those episodes. And then after I was done editing those episodes, I continued to appear on the podcast, and Rainie Toll continued to produce that. And, there's a lot of friendship wrapped up in the show. And my relationship with Zach and Keith has also changed over the years. I was a junior employee, and then when the company started to get pared down and in hot water, my relationship with them grew, I would say, and a mutual respect grew, because we needed each other, and we needed to have the TryPod be a fun place that we just had to be silly. We didn't have to talk about big, overwhelming things. We didn't even have to produce a large structure video. In some ways, we did not even have to worry about algorithmically, like what was gonna happen. The TryPod felt free, and I always felt free doing it. My dumbass segment, Advice That'll Go for Miles, that I did for episodes 1 all the way until the end, through the pandemic, through, big emotional times in my life, through big emotional times in their lives. I did my dumb segment at the end. My Advice That'll Go for Miles was always something like, in some ways that felt like I was growing up. My early ones were like, take a sauna, get a fucking a loofah. I'm learning how to become an adult over that show. And it's so dumb. It's hard to break out of a routine of doing something every single week where you expect it. And you expect to go into a room and you expect there to be a certain vibe. And I expect to see Zach, Keith, and Rainie, and for us all to sort of do the same thing where we can just laugh and be dumb and silly. And that part of my weekly routine is over. And it's sad. And I'll let them speak on their show, as to why the show is ending, and they have their reasons, and I understand. I can empathize with those reasons. Obviously, I'll still see Zach and Keith when I do Try Guys videos, and obviously I'll still see Rainie when she comes on my podcast and does YouTube videos with me, but I will miss our weekly fucking insanity. And I'm sure some of you guys will too, because that show felt like growing up, and it ending in some ways feels like the end of an era and the beginning of a new one. I started doing that show as a 24-year-old who didn't know anything, giving advice to other people about the things I didn't know. And I'm now like a married adult with 2 children, and I still don't feel like I know fucking anything. But I have grown up. And I just want to thank all of you guys for being a part of that, and for watching it and having it be a piece of your weekly routine, and for cheering me on when I didn't feel like I was, the top dog. Had to cut out a lot of stuff over the years. Had to cut out a lot of names and a lot of places. And we're going to roll a compilation of all the stuff I cut out right now.
The Harry stands are fully...
No, I'm just kidding. That is under lock and key in case anything ever bad happens to me. If Zach sends a nasty tweet about me, I've got the footage that I need to destroy his reputation. There's a mosquito sucking the blood of the gossip that is in my bones. So, to the end of an era. Adios, TryPod. More like pod try. Sorry. Burped. I love you guys. And if you're looking for a podcast to replace the dynamic that you found on the TryPod, I highly recommend you check out my podcast, Burning in Person. While the body's still cold, I still have a weekly podcast. And there's episodes with Zach, Keith, and Rainie. There's a lot of episodes with Rainie. So great time to check it out. I'll talk to you guys later.